My fiancé said, "It's not what you think." I replied, "I don't need to hear this right now, okay?" Then I walked out, slept on a friend's couch, and watched one voice message reveal a hidden brother, secrets, and a choice that could either end our engagement or force us to rebuild on truth. You're listening to AF Tales. This story is about a man who hears a suspicious voice message on his fiancée's phone and thinks she is cheating, only to uncover a much deeper family secret she has been hiding for years. As you listen, ask yourself where you would draw the line between an unforgivable lie and a second chance. I am 29 years old, and up until about 3 weeks ago, I thought I had my life pretty much figured out. My fiancée Natasha and I had been together for 4 years, engaged for 6 months, and planning to get married in August. We lived in a small downtown apartment, split the bills, and did all the basic couple things: cooking together, watching shows, arguing about whose turn it was to do laundry. That Saturday night, we were on the couch with takeout from our favorite Thai place. My laptop was dead, so we were watching a documentary on her phone, propped up on the coffee table. Some slow film about deep-sea creatures drifted across the screen. I was barely paying attention, just enjoying the quiet, her head on my shoulder, the smell of pad thai still hanging in the air. Then her phone lit up with a notification. Before either of us touched it, a voice message started playing on its own. The voice was male, smooth, a little too confident. "Last night was amazing at the party. Come again next Sunday." "We'll enjoy it." The air in the room changed. Natasha's whole body tensed. "It's not what you think," she blurted, lunging for the phone, but I had already seen the name on the screen. Cameron, her boss. The guy she had mentioned maybe twice in 4 years. Both times she said he was fine and professional, nothing more. I stood up without saying a word, grabbed my jacket from the chair and walked toward the door. "Ben, please wait," she said behind me, voice shaking. "Let me explain." I turned once. Her face was pale, eyes filled with panic. "You know what?" I said. "I don't think I need to hear it right now." Then I left. Sometimes silence hits harder than any fight. It tells the other person the damage is already done. I spent the night on my friend Joel's couch. He did not push for details. He handed me a beer, put on a basketball game, and let me sit there with my thoughts. The truth is, Natasha had been acting different for about 2 months. Nothing big, just small things you notice and then talk yourself out of noticing. She started going to networking events on weekday evenings. She would mention them casually at breakfast. "Industry mixer tonight, might be home late." She would come back around 10 or 11. She bought new lingerie just for herself. She took her phone into the bathroom when she showered. Sometimes she laughed at her messages and flipped the phone face down when I walked into the room. Every time a little alarm went off in my head, I shut it down. That is what happens when you love someone. You stack excuses on top of your instincts until you hope the noise goes away. Sunday morning, I woke up on Joel's couch with a stiff neck and 17 new messages. Most were from Natasha. One was from her best friend, Lily. "Ben, please call me. There's something you need to know. It's not what you think, but it's also worse than you think." "Please?" I stared at it for a long time. Worse than cheating. How could that be? I called her at noon. She answered on the first ring. "Ben, thank God. Are you somewhere private?" "Yeah, I'm at Joel's. He's out." "What is going on, Lily?" There was a long pause. I could hear her trying to figure out where to even start. "Natasha didn't cheat on you," she said finally. "Then what was that voice message?" "That is what I need to explain, but you are not going to like it. Just tell me." "Cameron is her brother." I actually laughed. "What? No, her brother is Jason. He lives in Seattle with his wife and kid." "That is what she told you," Lily said quietly, "but it is not true. Cameron is her older brother. He has been in and out of rehab for the last 8 years, painkillers, cocaine. He has been clean for about 6 months now. That is the longest he has managed in years." My mind stalled. Why would she lie about having a brother? "Because she was ashamed," Lily said. "Her family is complicated. Her dad was an alcoholic and died when she was 16. Cameron started using in college and it wrecked everything. Natasha has spent thousands trying to help him. She has paid for rehab 3 times, bailed him out of jail twice. She has lied to friends and to her mom just to cover for him. Admitting he exists means admitting her family is a mess. She has been lying to me for 4 years about having a brother. Yes, and those networking events. Those were NA meetings, Lily said. She has been going with him, that party he mentioned in the voice message. That was his 6-month sobriety celebration. She did not tell you because she thought you would judge her family. She thought you would leave if you knew the truth. I sat down hard on Joel's couch. There is no Jason in Seattle, I said. There is, Lily replied, but he is her cousin. She turned him into the safe version of a brother in her story. Why are you telling me this? Because she is falling apart, Lily said. She has been crying non-stop since you left. She wanted to tell you so many times, Ben, but the longer she waited, the harder it got. I am not excusing what she did. I am just giving you the full picture. What you do with it is up to you. That is something we forget. A lie can be terrible and still have a reason behind it that is not pure evil. It does not make the lie harmless, but it changes how you judge the person. I went to see Natasha that evening. She opened the door looking like she had not slept at all, eyes red and swollen. Hair a mess, same clothes from Saturday night. Can I come in? I asked. She nodded and moved aside. We sat at the kitchen table. The same table where we had eaten so many dinners. The same spot where I had proposed with a ring I worked 8 months to afford. Lily told you, she said. It was not a question. Yeah, I am sorry, she whispered. I am so sorry, Ben. I should have told you from the beginning. Then why didn't you? She wiped her eyes with her sleeve. Because I was scared, she said. My whole life, people have defined me by Cameron's problems. In high school, I was the girl with the junkie brother. In college, I was the one with the broken family. When I met you, I finally got to just be me, not Cameron's sister, not the girl who cancels dates because her brother overdosed again, just Natasha. I liked that. I wanted to keep it. But I am supposed to be your partner, I said. You should have trusted me. I know, she said, voice breaking. And I hate myself for it. Every day I wanted to tell you, but the longer I waited, the worse it got. How do you suddenly admit you have been lying for years? How do you say, by the way, that brother in Seattle is fake? My real brother is a recovering addict I have been secretly supporting. You could have told me when we got engaged. I almost did, she said. I had a whole speech planned, but you were so happy. Your family was so happy, I could not bring myself to destroy that picture. I thought maybe I could keep it separate. Keep you and Cameron in different boxes in my life. That is not how relationships work, Natasha. I know that now. We sat there in heavy silence for a while. What is Cameron like? I asked finally. She looked surprised. He is kind when he is clean, she said. Funny, smart. He used to play guitar. He taught me how to ride a bike. Addiction took that person away for a long time, but he is trying. Do you want me to meet him? What? Cameron, do you want me to meet him? Tears spilled down her face again. You would do that. I do not know what I am doing yet, I said. But if we are going to fix this, I need to know your real life, not the edited one. She nodded. He is actually nervous to meet you, she said. He knows I have been lying. He feels guilty. 3 days later, we met Cameron for coffee. He was tall, with the same dark eyes as Natasha, but he looked older than 32. Not in years, but in miles. There was a tiredness around him that comes from too many bad nights. I am really sorry, man, he said as soon as we shook hands. I told Tasha 100 times she should tell you. She was scared. She has always tried to protect me, even when it hurts her. You are 6 months clean, I said. Yeah, he answered. Longest run since my early 20s. It is strange actually remembering things. Showing up when I say I will. She has been the one constant through all of it, the only one who did not give up. We talked for 2 hours. He told me about his addiction with uncomfortable honesty. No sugar-coating, no blaming others. Just a straight line through the worst choices he had made and the work he was doing now. He talked about NA meetings, rehab, relapses, the people he lost. "If you are wondering if you can trust her," he said as we stood to leave, "you can. She lied about me because she loves me. She thought protecting meant keeping you away from my mess. That is who she is. She takes care of people even when it costs her." Sometimes the person who has done the wrong thing is still the one who spent years in the dark trying to hold others together. That tension is not easy to live with. The next few weeks were hard. I moved back into the apartment, but the air between us felt fragile. We started couples counseling, Natasha's idea. Our therapist, Dr. Singh, did not let either of us hide. "Natasha," she said during one session, "Ben is not angry because you have a brother with addiction issues. He is hurt because you did not trust him enough to share that part of your life." "I know," Natasha said. "I thought I was protecting us. Really, I was just hiding from my own shame." Then Dr. Singh turned to me. "And Ben, I need you to think about whether her lie came from malice or fear. It does not erase the harm, but it matters if you want to decide what comes next." I thought about that for days. Natasha lied, yes, for years. But it was out of fear of judgment, fear of abandonment, fear of being reduced to her family's worst shadows. Not because she wanted to hurt me or use me. That does not make it right. It does make it more human. About a month after the voice message, Natasha suggested a family dinner. Just the four of us. Me, her, Cameron, and her mom, Patricia. It was the first time I met her mother. Patricia was kind, but you could see the exhaustion in her eyes, the weight of years of crisis. Over lasagna and garlic bread, she talked about Cameron before the drugs, the guitar recitals, school projects, the plans he once had. "I am proud of who he is becoming again," she said, squeezing his hand. "And I am grateful to Natasha for never giving up when the rest of us wanted to." Cameron stared at his plate. There was that same look I had seen earlier, the wish to be seen as more than the worst parts of your story. After dinner, Natasha and I walked around the neighborhood. It was a warm late May evening. Kids were still playing outside. People sat on porches talking quietly. "Thank you for coming," she said. "I know this has been a lot." "It has," I said. "But I am glad I know the truth now." "Are we going to be okay?" she asked. There was so much fear in her voice it hurt to hear it. "I do not know yet," I said, "but I think we might be." We decided to postpone the wedding, not cancel, postpone. Natasha suggested it. She said she did not want to get married until we had rebuilt trust, and I respected that. Cameron stayed clean. He got a job with a landscaping company, started playing guitar again, and even began seeing someone he met at a meeting. Natasha was cautiously hopeful. I learned to be too. Therapy started to help. Natasha stopped guarding her phone and started telling me about her days honestly. Things like Cameron had a rough night, or I am scared he might slip became part of our actual conversations, not secrets she carried alone. I learned how to ask questions instead of assuming the worst. I learned to sit with a little discomfort instead of jumping straight to anger. About 3 months after the voice message, we were having breakfast on a Sunday when she set down her coffee. "I need to tell you something," she said. My stomach dropped, but I listened. "There is one more thing I have not been completely honest about. It is not like before, but I promised no more secrets." She took a breath. "I have been putting aside money for the past 2 years. About $800 a month. It is in a separate account I opened before we got engaged." "Okay," I said. "It is an emergency fund in case Cameron relapses, in case he needs rehab again or gets into legal trouble or loses his job. I needed to know that there was money to help him without us going under." "But I should have told you. It is our money and I hid it. I am sorry." I did the math in my head, nearly $20,000. "Are you still adding to it?" I asked. "Yes." "Does Cameron know it exists?" "No," she said. "I would prefer he never does. I do not want him to feel like I am sitting here waiting for him to fail." The old version of me would have exploded, called it betrayal, demanded she close it. The person sitting at that table understood something else. Natasha grew up in a house where emergencies were normal, where chaos was expected. She was trying to build a safety net the only way she knew how. "I appreciate you telling me," I said finally. "I think having an emergency fund is smart, but from now on, we decide together how much goes in and how it is used. No more hidden accounts." "Deal," she said, eyes filling with tears. "Deal." That quiet conversation did more for our relationship than any big apology speech. It was the moment she chose honesty over fear, and I chose understanding over punishment. We rescheduled the wedding for next April. Smaller guest list. Just family and close friends. Cameron is going to walk Natasha down the aisle because their dad cannot. When I asked if he felt ready, he cried and said yes. Last week, we were back on that same couch where everything had almost fallen apart. Watching another documentary. Her phone sat on the coffee table again. It buzzed with a text from Cameron. 2 years clean today. Thanks for believing in me." She picked up the phone and showed it to me first, then texted back a heart. "You know what is strange," she said. "I spent so long thinking that telling you about Cameron would wreck everything, but hiding him is what almost did." "Yeah," I said. "Turns out honesty matters." She laughed, a real laugh this time. "I guess it does," she said. "I am not going to pretend everything is perfect now. Trust that was cracked once is always a little more fragile. I still have moments where I wonder if there is something else I do not know. But those moments are getting fewer. The truth is, everybody carries something. Some of us carry addiction. Some carry loss. Some carry a secret they think is too ugly to share. Natasha carried the weight of a brother she loved and could not fix. She carried years of shame and fear. She carried it alone because she thought no one would stay if they saw all of it. Now she is not carrying it alone. I am not saying every lie can be forgiven or that you should always stay. But I learned that there is a difference between someone who lies to use you and someone who lies because they are terrified to be seen. In our case, a simple voice message that sounded like the end of everything forced the truth out into the open. And knowing the whole truth is the only reason we even have a chance now. Here are some of the lessons I took from this. Lesson 1. When something feels off, your instincts are worth listening to, but you still need the full story before you decide what to do. Lesson 2. Hiding a whole part of your life from your partner is still a form of betrayal, even if it comes from fear and not bad intent. Lesson 3. You cannot build a healthy relationship on an edited version of yourself. The hard parts of your life count too. Lesson 4. There is a real difference between lies that are meant to manipulate you and lies that come from shame. It does not excuse them, but it changes how you move forward. Lesson 5. Therapy and honest conversations can rebuild trust, but only if both people are willing to put every card on the table, including the uncomfortable ones. Lesson 6. Loving someone with addiction in the family means planning for bad days while still hoping for good ones. That is not weakness. It is reality. What about you? If you were in my place, would you have walked away as soon as you heard that voice message, or would you have stayed to hear the full story? And how much lying from fear, not malice, would you be willing to forgive in your own relationship?